What attractions at the Magic Kingdom could use a little sprucing up, maybe even, dare we say it, refurbishment? Carrie and I have some ideas, and they're all coming up on this week's episode of the podcast. You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us, but it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hey.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
How about you?
I'm good. It's a great day. It's beautiful outside.
Yeah, it's hard not to be, just start off the day good because of our sunny summer weather.
I know, right? When the weather's like this, I don't know, it just makes all the difference. I guess it's the extra vitamin D we get.
Yeah, and the longer days, it's so nice to...
Oh my goodness, the long days though, aren't they messing you up a little bit? They always mess me up in the beginning because I could be sitting at my desk or working or whatever, and then I look and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like 7:30, and I don't even notice because it's still... It just looks like the day out.
Yeah, I forget that the sun, that it's bright for so long sometimes. Like in the early, when it first starts, you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be still late at 8 o'clock if I go for a drive or go for a walk. Ha 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 ha.
That's always my issue in the winter when it starts getting dark early. Is I don't want to go for a drive because
it's just time to close her up. It's time to close up shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get any walking done this week? I didn't.
I did go for a walk. One night I went for a walk, and then I went for a little tiny baby walk another night, but not enough. We gotta get in training, Carrie. Like, I am so worried. I'm gonna get to Walt Disney World. I'm gonna get to the train station, walk up to Cinderella Castle, and then need a rest. Yeah.
I think it's possible. I'm not gonna make it all the way around World Showcase.
I think that as it's, we're able to see more people and do more things together outside, I need to maybe just find someone to walk with,
physically walk with.
The daytime lunches are one thing, but then everybody, gets busy and has calls or other meetings and you got to coordinate and whatever. I think I might need to just find somebody that can walk in I don't know if I could do the morning because I'd have to find someone that lives in my neighborhood, but maybe find some people that want to go for nighttime walks and drive to their house or have them drive over here and we actually go for walks, because it's so much more easier when you have someone to walk with. I walked with a work friend. We met and I drove up to her house and we walked our neighborhood. And it was so easy and so effortless and so wonderful to have your friend to chat with that you haven't seen in a long time, but just seems so effortless and easy.
Yeah, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe when we get back, we won't even notice how much we're walking, or maybe we won't get tired because we'll be so so involved in what's going on around us.
Maybe the first trip it might be on we'll be so hopped up and excited that we won't notice. Maybe. But I don't know, that might be the first day, but then I think the next day after we spent we walked for 10 or 15 kilometers, we'll be oh my goodness, we'll be done for the rest. So I think we do need to do a little bit of training.
Well, and it's, for people listening, it's different for everybody. Everybody's in sort of different stages of reopening. And you and I were talking about that earlier, about how Disneyland has kind of gone from full on lockdown and boom, it's opening up. It's looking like it's getting back to normal. Whereas Walt Disney World was a little more gradual. Where we're still pretty locked in. We can see people and stuff like that, but only up to 5 outside. I think soon it's up to 10 or whatever. I don't know. I've lost track now. But yeah, it depends on what stage of reopening you're at. So the summer weather is nice because then you can get outside and see people outside, which is nice.
For sure.
But we'll be going soon. We'll be going soon and being able to get back to the parks. I cannot wait. And then it'll be you won't be able to keep me out of it.
True. I think you're going to, we joked before, you'll get down there and you may never come back.
It's quite possible.
Pixie Dust fan headquarters has relocated.
Yep. Done.
To Florida.
Yeah. Actually, I guess you have to look and see how long you're allowed to be. Anyway. We'll figure that out. But any new news after we finish? Because we were joking about the last episode was all about news. And we're not doing news this one.
No.
But there was some news that you wanted to bring to everyone's attention.
Yeah, like pretty much as soon as we pressed stop on the last episode, we got the breaking news that the condiments have returned to Walt Disney World. Like, we can pump our own ketchup.
Yes!
And mustard.
We can have as much ketchup as we want.
But yeah, it's coming back. And like that there is like, wow, like back to normal.
That is back to normal. When the condiments are back, you know it's back to normal. And this was pretty breaking news.
That just shows the Disney community, and like whatever, we joke, oh, that's breaking news, but it's also like, it was kind of exciting and funny at the same time. It's like, wow, like, you know, for all those little things, all those little tiny things that you might not think about, you know, when you're so deep into this Disney parks thing and you love every little bit of it, like something like that, you're like, woo, yay!
That's breaking news.
Like, you know, you don't have to, you know, they're bringing back things that we weren't, you probably can, you know, grab your own napkins now too, you know, or pick your own forks and knives soon. From the dispenser machine, someone won't be handing you one, like all that stuff.
It's pretty exciting.
That it's
yeah,
coming back. We have freedoms in the park. We've been given back freedoms.
All I can picture now is like Braveheart, freedom, with the ketchup packages in his hand, throwing them away.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. So that was
the good news, and it came to us literally right after we finished recording. So we had to provide that update. You heard it here.
Dang it, we were just a little bit too late.
That's what happens sometimes, though, when we're recording, because we record and then there's a couple of days where we have to do editing and images and all that kind of stuff. So it really is. We are recording not the day before the episodes go live. So sometimes we're a little
we do them
dated.
a little bit early. We usually do them on Saturday morning, but sometimes we'll record on Thursday night or Friday
depending on what's going on and how.
Sunday sometimes if we're behind a little bit.
And we're going to have to I have to figure out how that's all going to work when I'm in the parks. Because, you know, I have my computer at home is really good, but I don't know how it's going to be editing on a laptop. It'll be fine. I'll do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. But that is not what our episode was about this week, Carrie.
Right. We just needed to
share that breaking.
A little. And there was something else that was really, really cool, which we can just talk for a couple seconds because we got to get into our topic. Is that, and it's a very warm and fuzzy, awesome one, was that all of the parks in the world are, because Paris reopened this week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That all of the parks are opened again. So everything's open. So that was neat. And there was some neat, like, images of like all the castles together, and
that was
your boo
awesome.
Josh tomorrow posted about something warm and fuzzy about it.
That's where I saw the post originally. Of course, was when Josh posted it, and Josh, because you know we're friends now.
Seriously, I think you should be calling him by his first and last name. But
seriously,
whatever.
If you read the comments on his post, there are so many cast members that thank him for being who he is. Like, you can see it. The cast members love him. They just love him.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. So they're all open. That's really exciting.
Awesome news. Very
it's
cool.
such great news. Yeah. Yeah, the world is getting back on track. So when we finally get back to the parks, we have some suggestions for them. That's our topic this week, Carrie. Is the well, it's funny because we had the topic. We were going to talk about refurbishments that we would like to see. And then you and I sat down and we were just bouncing around some different ideas. And then it was like, hang on a second. We actually have quite a few suggestions for the Magic Kingdom alone. So we agreed that we should just do the Magic Kingdom this time. And we'll have to do the other parks at a later date.
Yes. And the reason why we bounce around ideas and not surprise each other is because often we have the same answers. Or the same lists.
What I can't even remember what the topic was that I threw out to you last week, and you were like, seriously? We're going to end up with the same 5. And I'm like, no, we're not. And you said, yes, we are. And you're like, okay, tell me yours. And then literally the first one, I thought this, because it was like something about, was it our top 5 attractions of all time?
Yeah, across all the
parks. And I thought, okay, I'm going to say one that she's not going to think. And I said Radiator Springs Racers, and you're like, yep.
Absolutely.
And, like, oh. And yeah, so as we went through the list, they were the same. So we're like, that's not really fun.
So I think that's a really fun topic, because there's so many things, and if we keep it where it's only 5, then we have to think and pick which ones. But I think we need some other people on the episode to give us some breadth
dimension.
Dimension.
Because you and I are going to end up picking the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so back to this one. So we're talking about...
So here we go. See how we do
rides
that. Okay.
We would like to refurbish. And we thought we would do the entire world, because we thought, well, what? Not Disneyland, because honestly, Disneyland is generally just A-okay. As it's perfect.
Yeah, because Carrie says it's just perfect as it is. We wouldn't change a thing.
So we said the world, and then we thought, well, that's great, because that'll be good. And then when we started talking, we realized we had a decent list just for Magic Kingdom.
Yes. And that's, obviously these are suggestions, things that we think would be like a good improvement. But yes, so we had our list for the Magic Kingdom. So how do you want to do this, Carrie? Because I think we agreed on what these things were.
Oh, for sure. I think we could just kind of go through them.
Okay. So do you want to list the first one?
I'm trying to think of which way should we just do, like...
Should we do by
area?
by land, by area, by
land, maybe?
Okay. I'm just afraid. Are you okay? So you have your list in order of land?
No, I don't have.
People
them
are probably listening right now, going like, "Ladies, get on with it. It's really not."
Okay, whatever. Let's start then. I've got a list. I'll just go through. If we got to jump between lands, because I didn't put them in order, I just was writing them down as we were talking about them.
Okay, go.
So the first one was the Carousel of Progress.
Yes.
Final scene.
So not all scenes. Let's clarify that.
Yeah, I don't know that I completely agree with you on this one, but.
Well, how do you not agree with me on this one? You don't agree with updating the final scene?
I think it could be done, but I don't think it needs to be.
The final scene is supposed to be the future, tomorrow, and the technology they have in that final scene is like what we have today, if not what we had yesterday.
I know.
So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you update it?
Because I think it's interesting that back then when it was updated, that was tomorrow. And it kind of shows like how fast things move, how fast things change, and how
predictive it was?
I think it's fine to stay as it is for now. It probably needs to be, it will get refurbished, I'm sure, eventually. I'm sure it's far from a priority of things to refurbish at the parks. But I think it's okay to stay the way that it is. Like it's funny. And as and it could be a learning experience for some of these, for the younger generations. That's an era that they don't even know of. They may be surprised. It's almost like a lesson.
A lesson in what technology we thought we were going to have that we ended up getting,
or that we surpassed quite quickly.
So the Carousel of Progress takes you through all the different time eras. Yeah. The introduction of radio. One of my favorite things is when he's saying to her, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm cleaning the oven. Ovens don't just clean themselves." Like, it takes you through what it used to be like, and then the final scene is supposed to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And the technology that's in there is she's sitting at a laptop, the mother. He's talking to the oven, right? Set the temperature for whatever.
Dinner.
They're making Christmas dinner. And the grandmother is playing a virtual reality game.
Right.
But it's a virtual reality game that, quite honestly, we have now. We didn't when that scene was refurbed, but we have it now.
Right.
So I just think they could do a little more with it. They could just make it a little more current.
I do agree for sure that and they probably they probably will plan to do that because they have to make it tomorrow. But I ask you this then. So what would that scene look like then? Let's imagine what that scene would look. Okay, we're wiping it clean. We're going to leave it Christmas. It's still the living room. But we're going to update what's happening in there.
So maybe they have the TV on and the news is talking about people taking vacations to Mars. Maybe there's some, I don't know, because
everybody's sitting on the couch looking at their phones. Like, I really am having a hard time imagining how this is going to look. Or the kids are in the mom's texting the kids that are in the bedroom.
Maybe.
Like, I think maybe
this they're having video chats.
Maybe it's not as easy as we think it could be. Maybe it's
right.
better to keep it retro with, the turtlenecks and the But right, yeah, so they could have video conferencing. Oh, they're dialing in grandpa or uncle, whatever.
Yeah, video from Mars where he's vacationing or whatever. I don't know, space travel or hoverboards or like.
That's the thing. If it's tomorrow, like I guess it depends on what the Walt Disney Company wants to portray as what tomorrow is.
What tomorrow looks like. Yeah.
Because.
Okay, so I didn't think I'd have to come up with what it should be.
I just thought that we could have some fun, like, because really...
We could, I know.
Like, and maybe it's an empty room because everything would be virtual or by video chat or...
Well, that's kind of sad.
Well, but then let's just keep it the way that it is because it's funny.
Because it's funny? You know what I love about that scene? So if you're ever in it, people listening, if you watch the virtual reality game... What is portrayed on the TV is literally as if she's playing the game. So when her head moves, the TV, the view on the TV moves, but also her fingers. So if you watch her hand, she's got that glove on to shoot, and it's in sync. Like they have made it so it's actually like she's playing it. It's not just, props or whatever. That's the detail they put in there. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. And okay. So then let's say I believe maybe Carrie's not in agreement that the final scene of the Carousel of Progress should be
I think I just want to see the scene before they do it.
So you would like to have approval. You would like for them to bring you, here's what we would like to do. And Carrie will give approval whether she's in agreement or not with the scene.
It would be, and I'd like to know, like, if it's something that they talk about doing, they know they should do it. Like, is it? I would love to know the reality of that ever happening. Like, where would it be on the? And then you always worry that it would go away too, right? Like, there's always that fear that. There's
always a fear that when they touch the Carousel of Progress, it's to take it away, and that makes me very uncomfortable.
So.
Because that attraction was Walt Disney's idea from beginning to end. Okay, so anyway, I think we've beaten the Carousel of Progress to death. But if you haven't been on it lately, you should go. Awesome. It's awesome. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Yep. Okay,
next.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
Space Ranger spin or whatever.
I
didn't write down the proper nomenclature.
The proper term for the... because I think the one in Disneyland is named different, right? I think it's Space Ranger Spin in one and Astro Blasters or Buzz's Astro something in the other. I don't know which one is which. Yeah, so I believe this one. Did you agree with me on this one?
I think you're just crazy for this one too. Like
I don't know. Seriously. So in my opinion, for people who visit the parks a lot, they have not updated the targets. Like, I love the attraction. I love the vehicles. I love the ride. I love it all. What I would love to see is for them to update the targets to be different, like, worth different things now. So here's my reasoning. Listen, let me finish the reasoning. Mm-hmm. So online, you can go and figure out where the big targets are.
Yeah.
Right? And then... Like, I remember when my sister discovered this, because I used to go, we would go, and she would always be like, how are you beating me every time, blah, blah, blah. And it's because I knew where the big targets were, and she didn't. But now she's found them. So it's really not as much fun anymore, because we both know what targets we're looking for.
So you want them to mix it up?
I want them to mix it up a little bit, and I would love for them to increase, like, to actually have a full laser. Because when you're shooting at the targets, you don't know which little dot of laser is yours, right? Like if there's 5 people all shooting at the same target, which is usually my sister and I, we don't know whose little laser is whose. So
that would be good if they were different colors, the ones in the...
See, that would... That would be fun. If she had like blue, I had red or whatever, we'd know whose was whose.
So it needs like a technology overhaul. Probably.
Just a tweak. Just a tweak.
A tweak. Like, a technology tweak.
Yeah, like they don't need to change anything else because I love the attraction. It's so much fun. It's so great to be competitive with each other and it's fun. But
even if they could reprogram what the points, reprogram where what the value of the targets were, like make it more random.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
I think that's probably more than a tweak.
It might be.
Well, Pixmas fan wants an overhaul.
I just think that would be fun because I think it for people that visit a lot, it would increase the game value of it. Fair?
Yep. No, for sure.
Okay. All right. So you didn't really.
Well, I'm not as competitive for you. Like I just go on the ride and have fun. Like I don't really think too much or ponder at the end that I wish that this was just a little bit, different.
It's so funny because I am not competitive by nature. Like I don't like those kind of things. But for some reason, my sister and I always have this huge competition on Buzz and Toy Story Midway Mania. Like it's like a whole thing every time we're on it is to compete over who wins. And it's so silly, but it's funny because we laugh at each other. It's hysterical. Okay.
So the last one, I'm going to let you introduce the last one because it is your favorite attraction in Tomorrowland.
What?
Remember? The last one.
What last one?
The last one on the list. It's your favorite.
I can't see your list.
We talked about it. What's our last Tomorrowland attraction?
Which one? Winnie the Pooh?
Tomorrowland attraction.
Oh, Tomorrowland. Oh, yeah. I didn't write it down. It's the Astro Orbiter. I actually didn't make a note of it on my side.
You just can't handle even writing the words down.
Honest to goodness, it gives me so much anxiety.
But I think you had because I didn't even think of this one.
I know. How could you not? Like it's so.
Because I don't really think about it.
I know because for the most part we don't go on it. But it so needs a refurb. Like desperately needs one.
So what's your ideas?
So my idea is, I think it could be totally a Meet the Robinsons. It could be like one of the
Buzz Lightyear around.
There's enough Buzz Lightyear stuff around, but Meet the Robinsons in Tomorrowland. Like I can't believe they don't even exist in Tomorrowland. And they could make those little, like instead of the rocket ships, they could be like the Robinsons flying saucer stuff, like their little vehicles. I think it would be so much fun. And while they were at it, they could update those rockets so that they were actual seats. Kind of like Magic Carpets of Aladdin or Dumbo. Like seats that you walk in and sit down on instead of you get in and like have to sit on the floor of the rocket.
Yeah. I think, well, that's very like original.
It's very original. Like those rockets are
vehicles.
Original. Yeah.
I don't know, like, I don't know about, like, changing the look of the vehicles. Like, okay,
really?
maybe we could pull this off at Walt Disney World, but not at Disneyland, maybe, I don't know. But, like, I think the vehicles need to stay the same way, but, like, maybe they could Meet the Robinson theme them somehow or whatever.
Yeah, but the whole point of me getting this refurbishment was so that they were seats, so that I could get in and out of the vehicle.
Maybe they can add seats to them somehow. Like, I just think it would be weird if it was like a totally different shaped space vehicle up there. Like, I think it needs to still be.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I'm not attached to those vehicles.
I just think, like, because you see them up, like.
Because they're so high. Above Tomorrowland.
And they've always kind of been that way, I think. Like, I don't know the history of the...
Yeah, I don't think I feel that nostalgia for them. I think I would totally get rid of them.
Yeah. I guess it depends if they fit with the design of the land.
Right.
I guess. If they fit the style, it would be okay. But if, like, I wouldn't want them to, like, stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
it would be totally different. So maybe a little bit of a change, but not like
radical change.
Yeah, and like really, I don't think Disney would do that.
No, But I think that Meet the Robinsons really deserve a space in Tomorrowland.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love that movie. It's such an underrated movie. That's another idea we had for the podcast that we have to do at some point, is where we would love to see, like, what IPs Disney has that we would like to see more of in the parks. Meet the Robinsons is one of them. I think that would be the perfect spot for them. Okay, so that's Tomorrowland done.
We wrapped up Tomorrowland with your favorite ride.
Seriously, gives me anxiety.
We're going to go on it next time.
And it's not about the height. I'm good with the height. It's about getting in and out of that vehicle. I was sure I was there until closing. Like, they would have to have cast members.
Listen, we're going to go on it and we have to go and take some pictures. Like, how great of a photo shoot could that be of us, soaring through the skies and the
cast members having to come and haul me off a ride because I can't get up? You remember that?
I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
Oh, you won't be there for me. This is not a friends reunion. You'll be pointing and laughing. You will not. You will not. Oh, okay. Yeah, next time, sure. All the kids waiting. Why can't the lady get off the rocket?
I would never do that. I would help you along.
After you had a giggle and took pictures. Like, let's be clear. You would take pictures first.
No, I wouldn't. I'm offended that you would say that. Okay, let's carry on, because I don't want any more, like, I know I'll stop teasing about the Astro Orbiter, your favorite ride. Okay.
Okay.
So
where are we going next?
What about to the Tiki Room? You have Tiki Room on the list.
Yeah, you're saying that we discussed all this before, and then you're presenting them like you don't agree with that. Like, these are all mine.
Well, they were your ideas that you had to convince me needed to be.
But you agreed with me.
I do. Yes, the Tiki Room at Disneyland is perfect. At Disney World, I agree. Because I never really thought about it, but the pre-show area could use some pizzazz, let's say.
Yes, it's not the attraction itself. Like, once you get in, I'm good with the Tiki Room. I'm not good with the pre-show area.
I could agree. They could add some
a little razzle dazzle, maybe some extra birds.
Some technology.
Some technology, some more conversation. It's a little blah. And it, like, you're standing there in rows, just staring.
I wonder if they could do something, too, to make... Do you think that a lot of people just walk by it and they don't know what the heck it is? Like, it maybe looks like an extension of the Dole Whip stand or whatever. Like, do you think people... I wonder if they could do anything to make it stand out a little bit more, so people are more drawn to ride it. Because I bet you there's a lot of people that don't even see it like their first trip, unless they know unless they know to go to it.
Yeah, and I've done some posts on Facebook about the Tiki Room and had people come back and say, "Hey, I didn't even see this," or "I didn't even notice it," or "We didn't do this." And you're right. It's probably because they walked right by and didn't even notice it was there.
Yeah, so it needs a little razzle-dazzle on the outside, too.
Little big arrows that say, "Hey, come in."
Yeah, just some stuff. Maybe some birds, and the pre-show starts there calling them in.
That would be nice if they had one right out front that was calling people in.
Mm-hmm. For the love of the ride, to help people
find
get in there. Find it.
Exactly. Because it's such a joyful ride.
Next one, since you didn't write any of these down.
You're the organized one.
The Country Bear Jamboree.
Yes. This is going to be a hot topic issue for some. Yeah. Some people love it. Some people don't.
Some people get scared by it. I think it scares small children that grow up to adults that don't like the Country Bear Jamboree.
Don't like it at all. But I think it needs a bit of a fresher upper.
Yeah, I think it needs to change a little. Like, it could use a change. Like, maybe keep it the same. It's still a Country Bear Jamboree.
So leave the audio animatronics alone.
Absolutely.
Like, don't touch any of them. Big L's still got to be there. Maybe
Maybe freshen them up a little bit.
Like, what do you mean freshen them up a little bit? Like shaving a haircut or like...
Yeah, brush their fur, stuff like that.
Maybe some new clothes.
Yeah, I think for sure new clothes and some new songs. But otherwise, keep the joint the same.
Yeah, I agree with you on the songs for sure. Like, I agree they could use a hairbrush or whatever, some tidy up, some new fancy dancy duds. But the songs, I think... I love the songs. I love the songs. I grew up listening to them, singing them. They make me laugh. I think they're funny. But I also think in this day and age, with kids, they're probably not the smartest of songs for them to be singing. Like, Blood on the Saddle.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Blood on the saddle.
Right? And what's the one she sings? The one that comes out of the ceiling?
You know the words.
The girl. I know, but I'm trying to remember
Trixie.
her name. Trixie. Trixie sings "The Guys That Turn Me On, Turn Me Down."
All the guys that turn me on, that turn me down.
I think it's hysterical. But for families going nowadays, it's probably not stuff that their kids would be used to hearing. In a family park. It's just...
And I think that people are nostalgic and they love it. I think some people probably think it's dumb or stupid or whatever. Or they're just confused. Like, they probably go in and they're like, why is this thing here? Why is it so old? Why are they singing stuff like that? And then it's like one and done and they write it off. But
Right.
I think if they put new music, it needs to still be of the same, like, original, like, corny, cheesy...
songs.
Silly songs.
Yes.
Right? Like, so
Agreed.
it's not, like, just keep it of the same humor, but not blood on the saddle.
Yes. So I think there's a great opportunity to just update it all to be singing audio animatronics with, like, a new flair on the songs that's a little more current, but funny. Same kind of funny. Like the Jungle Cruise kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Like that slapstick, but almost like dad jokes in song.
Yeah, for sure. Because I don't know what else, like you hear rumblings that it's going to go away or that they're going to put a different IP over it or something. But, like, it is kind of a weird, I've always thought it's like a weird space. Like, it's probably not that much room, like, compared to other things. Like, what else could they do there? So you think like a refresh and some new music would be something that would be easy and what if they want to put an IP in there, like maybe put some little critters that we know or something. I don't know.
Well, they could put a couple of the bears from Brave in there. Yeah,
true. But
right? They could throw a couple of them in, but honestly, like it would just leave them. They don't all have to be IP. And I think I like all those audio animatronics are so cute. They really are. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if they could just update the songs, I think they should. That's our stance on the Country Bear Jamboree, which is a hot topic issue for many Disney fans.
Yeah. Poor country bears.
I know, but honest to goodness, we don't always go in it. But the last time we went in it, I was sitting in there listening to them and singing along and thinking, I can't believe, like, even as a kid, I sang these words. I don't think I knew what any of, like, some of them meant, but I sang along, and then I was sitting there thinking, yeah, maybe they should really update this. Now, we didn't touch Thunder or Splash, because Splash is getting updated anyway, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Tiana there.
A lot of the things, like the Carousel of Progress, the Tiki Room, the Country Bears, like those are rides or attractions that there's lots of people that just don't like them. Like a lot, like those three are definitely like.
There's you love them or don't.
You love them or don't. Like, and even because people think the Tiki Room is kind of boring or cheesy or whatever. So
it's so joyful, though. It really is. Like, you got to sing along.
My thing is, if you're traveling with me, you're going to like it no matter what. If you don't like it, I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you why you should like it.
People are getting a whole new sense of Carrie today. She's just like, she's very dictatorial.
Same with Carousel of Progress.
You are going to like the Tiki Room, whether you like it or not.
If not, I'll explain to them why they should love it.
Exactly.
And then if you... If they still don't agree, then whatever. I suppose I can let it go. But okay, so how about the Haunted Mansion?
Ooh. So we did have a bit of a conversation on this one. Mm-hmm. Whether what I was suggesting needed to happen was really a refurb or just, what did you call it? It's not really a refurb. It's a redesign.
It's a redesign.
It's a redesign of the queue is what I'm asking for. So at Walt Disney World, when you go into the room, they put you in a stretching room. And then when the stretching room door opens, you end up in a hallway that looks like a big funnel. So it's really wide at the opening, right? And you get herded in there, and it is I've been going there for all my life, and I still have challenges keeping my family together when we get out of that room. Yeah, you have to
hold hands or grab onto sweatshirts and whatever to not get lost from your travel party.
Exactly. And now if you're at the very back and you're coming through, it's okay. But if you happen to be in the middle of the room or in the side or whatever, your family, it's hard to keep your family together. And then you get funneled in to try and get into a single file line to get on the attraction.
And I don't understand how they really can fix that other than putting an actual queue that's formed where you follow a single line queue, which I don't think that's possible. Because the reason why there's the backup is because there's 2 stretching rooms, right? So they let one out, then they let the other. If anything doesn't, and if they do it quickly and there's not the right
too many
movement,
of you,
then it gets jammed up like that, which is pretty much all the time. Unless you were there at a very, there was nobody going under the ride. It always
happens. Always. And it's for me, as seasoned visitors who have this challenge, can you imagine for first-time guests? This is your first time in the Haunted Mansion. It's your first time with your family. You got 3 little ones. I just think that is probably in all of Walt Disney World one of the most inefficient spots. And it's in one of my favorite attractions, but that spot is so inefficient.
I don't know what they could do.
I don't know what they could do either, but they're smart people. So they need to figure that out. They absolutely need to figure that out because it's terrible.
And generally the Haunted Mansion, they always are doing little tweaks and things to the inside of the ride, adding things, changing things, brightening things up, doing whatever.
So it's perfect the way it is. Mm-hmm. Except for that one room. And that's the thing, it's just a dark alleyway. There's nothing fancy. It's really just a vestibule to get you, a funnel to get you through it. It is a funnel. They should just have it it makes you feel like you spin and feel dizzy, and then maybe people will slow down and not push each other to get to the front. Yeah, because also people don't know where the wall is going to open. Right? They just don't know where that's going to open. And it just, it's such a crowd, and it's just not very functional. It's not my favorite spot.
Look at all the other things that they do well and that they've been able to design the right way.
I know.
That might be just it's just it is what it is. What do you, we're just spoiled because it's Disney. Every other place you'd be crammed in a line with no interaction, no bells and whistles, no audio animatronics in the no gems that you play music on, no walls that you make honey on.
There's still so much they could be doing.
You just stand crammed in a line if you're in lots of other places. We're just spoiled that we have these expectations of a perfect queue and a perfect experience.
But they've done all that stuff out front. They've got such a great queue out front. The stretching room is entertaining. The whole thing is perfect except for that one little spot.
Yeah. I don't know.
And even in Disneyland, they do it better. And I don't know if it's because it's almost as soon as you come out of the stretching room in Disneyland 2, you can see the ropes that instinctively you got to get into a single file line. At Walt Disney World, you come out of that stretching room and everybody's confused. Where am I going?
Yeah.
And the fact that you got to get into a single file line is so much further ahead that people don't get what they're doing or where they're going or the fact that they're going to have to all come together.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Disneyland one is a room. It's a really neat room, and I think they have like the people coming out of the elevator is a lot more reasonable than because I think like Disney World has too many people at once coming out, where at Disneyland that's not the case.
Right.
So people can just kind of mosey through a little bit. They're not so squished in there, and you know where you're in a neat little room, and you stop and you look, and you're like, oh wow, like look at the wall, look at the wallpaper, look at the stuff that's happening around. Whereas when you're in Walt Disney World, you get into this black tunnel of doom, and you just like you feel like you just got to push your way to get to wherever the ride starts, wherever that may be.
Right. So, and it's that black room though with the most fantastic wallpaper ever. Like that's where you see the Haunted Mansion wallpaper. So do love it there. But okay. What else we got, Carrie?
I think we just have one more. Believe it or not. One more.
No.
Yeah, we just have one more on my list. If there's some on your list and you didn't write them down, I can't help you. On my list, we have one more.
What's that?
It's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, I forgot. We were going to say the Haunted Mansion, the Hall of Presidents. I had one note. You were like, no, they don't have to do anything. I think they need to make it shorter. That's it. That's my 2 cents. It's too long. Okay, moving on. Winnie the Pooh. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
We both agree.
Could use some work.
I think Pooh Bear deserves more than cardboard cutouts. I really do. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is very much like the old sort of, they called them the dark rides or whatever, the old originals in Fantasyland, right? Where you got in a little vehicle and it took you through a whole bunch of cardboard cutouts and telling you the story.
He needs to be brought to the future. He needs to have the technology and all the bells and whistles that they've started to give to some of the other rides.
Like which ones are you talking about?
Like the new Snow White ride at Disneyland, what they did to that. Like imagine that in Winnie the Pooh. That's what Winnie the Pooh needs. He just needs some pizzazz. Like I don't even know what I guess I don't even know how to explain the technology, but it's what we've seen in a lot of the other rides, like the
it's kind of like what they did on
projection.
Mine Train.
Yeah, like projection, like different types of characters. But like even the projections on the faces that they do, like that type of technology where everything's bright and things kind of change in front of your eyes, and there's like pixie dust through the sky or pixie dust through whatever, like just to make it come to life a little bit more.
Yeah. So what they did at Disneyland for Snow White's, it's no longer Snow White's Scary Adventures. It's Snow White's Enchanted Wish.
Oh yeah.
And it's the story of Snow White, but it's less darkness. They've made it a little brighter, and they've used, like, I recognized a lot of technology that they use in the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah.
Where they have, is it Dopey? They
cut and pasted that. They cut and pasted stuff from Snow White's Scary Adventure for sure. Like all the lit up gems and all that stuff.
Yes. But it's almost like they come to life. Where they were cardboard cutouts, now they're alive. Like they're moving, they're smiling, they're twinkling, all of that. Can you imagine if they had like Piglet or Tigger or Roo doing different things, and they were almost like moving and they weren't just cardboard?
Yeah.
What they could do with Winnie the Pooh. He deserves it.
He does. I agree.
Like when you get in that honey pot, although if they could make the honey pots a little bit bigger, because I gotta tell you, when you get in there, 2 adults, yeah, you're reminded how many cupcakes you ate on that vacation when you get in that honey pot. But I love
the
it.
honey pot. Yeah, I guess depends on what they do. They could maybe even reimagine the ride vehicle, but yeah, like you can't even really imagine what they could do. But yeah, the characters coming to life a little bit more, and
that would be nice to see them.
Because in the Snow White ride, they added more things, added more characters, and a lot more. So yeah, like they might not even, if they did the same, they might animate the characters differently, but then they might even be able to add more and do more, right? Like have more scenes come to life with the projections and all that stuff, right? Have more movement.
Yes. I would love that.
Imagine like the scene where he's like dreaming what they could do.
Oh, yeah. That would be so awesome. Instead of him
where
just
he goes into his dream.
In his dream and he's like tumbling over.
Oh, yeah. Pink elephants. Imagine that with the technology.
Yes. Oh my goodness. See, Carrie, we should be Imagineers. That's what we should do.
And ruin the magic. I think I'll just stick to my current role.
I like this though. I like thinking about the attractions, and I think one thing that happened after going through this list with you is realizing how many attractions we love just the way they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there really are so many that are just perfect.
Because we really didn't have I think the reason why I thought we would be able to do the whole Walt Disney World in one, because I didn't think we would have anything too drastic to say about any of them. Right? Like, I didn't, like, because we joke about how we're like, we love it all! Yay! So I thought, how, like, is there anything we're really going to go, have too many qualms about?
Go to town on?
Yeah, so.
No, and I think for us, it's really just about tweaking things.
Yeah, and we just have faith in that when things get changed or evolved, that it'll be spectacular. Yeah. And if not, hey, we'll forget about how it used to be eventually, and we'll grow to love the new version of it.
It's funny because so many people are so adamant and they get so angry online about different things, and you and I just have, sometimes I'm not thrilled when they say, oh, we're going to change this or we're going to change that, but I always know, like, change is good. That's what the parks were built on. The fact that they won't stay the same. Mm-hmm. That's what keeps us going back. So I'm always excited when they change things. But there is one other thing that is not an attraction at the Magic Kingdom, but it does need to be addressed.
Uh-oh.
That they need to fix, refurbish, do something to. And that is the parking trams in the parking lots. And this applies across Walt Disney World. Could they please fix the audio so that when the driver comes on and says, keep your hands on arms, in legs, blah, 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 shut the door, we're coming up to this spot, you can actually hear what they're saying. Because right now, it's like, and you have no idea. You have no idea what he's saying.
The only person that understands is the person that's sitting directly in front of him.
Exactly. So I would love it if they could fix that. That would be fantastic. But yeah, that was our list for the Magic Kingdom.
That's fun.
I would love to hear what people think. Like, do they agree with us? Do they agree with our suggestions? Do they think we're completely out to lunch? Or is there something we missed that needed to be done?
Yeah. This kind of, when we, like a couple weeks ago or whatever, we did an Instagram, I guess a week or so ago, whenever we did our Instagram live, and someone had said, like, the suggestion of what you would do if you ran the park for the day or whatever, or what
yes.
And yes. I kind of like started, like, when we were going through this list, I was kind of thinking along, like more, because like tweaks, right? Like
yes.
The things, there's lots of things, like, and we were asking the person, like, what do you mean? Like, are we the boss of the park for the day? Can we do whatever we want or whatever? But I think, like, with this list, that's what kind of started thinking in my head, like, these are the things with the rides, but like across the board, like if we ran the park for the day, like what would we tweak?
That could be so much fun. Mm-hmm. Like, we could take it in so many different directions if we ran the park for the day, or if we just had the park to ourselves for a day. Or like
if we ran the park for the day, could we tell everybody that they had to ride our favorite rides? Like, you have to go directly to the Tiki Room, or else you're not allowed to go on anything else. Like, it could be so extreme, other than tweaking, like,
Wouldn't that be great? Like, everybody that came into the park, you say to them, that's it. You have to go in the Tiki Room, or you're not going anywhere else.
Or, like, say you hated, like, ketchup, and you'd be like, there's no ketchup in the park at all whatsoever. Mustard only.
Wouldn't that be... Oh my goodness!
You're getting a corn dog. You can only you can only eat a corn dog if you have mustard on the side. No cheese sauce. I don't like that cheese sauce. Guess what? Nobody's getting cheese sauce for their pretzels. Only mustard, and then corn dogs. No ketchup allowed. Sorry.
Oh,
you gotta
my
eat that.
gosh.
You gotta eat that one. Whatever.
Wouldn't
like, there's
that be fantastic?
So many ways you could kind of think about how if you could run the park or whatever.
I would swap out all the barbecue sauce for sweet and sour for the chicken fingers. I totally would. That would be so awesome.
So yeah, when we were going through that list, that sort of stuff was kind of going in the back of my mind. Like, oh, that could be fun to talk about. That could be.
Okay, so we're going to have to put that on our list of future topics. We'll let that one sort of percolate a little bit in our brains of how that'll come together. But this one was fun. Mm-hmm. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and they'll share with us what their thoughts were. Carrie, it's the time of the podcast where you share what brought you some happiness and joy this week. What gave you pixie dust?
Well, I got a package today from our friend Jen at Now Ear This, where we got our recent. I got my Muppet ears, my Muppet scrunchie from. Anyway, she sent me some stickers. So she sent me 2 packages, just out of the blue, random, didn't know I was getting them. I got this message in the craft envelope in the mail that said Muppa Crazy on it. And the envelope was full of stickers, a big humongous stack of Splash Mountain stickers, and then all kinds of other stickers, cute emoji, animals and character stickers, and they're awesome. So that was my pixie dust, because I love stickers, and it was a sticker surprise. My monthly sticker subscription for May never arrived, so I'm following up because I think it got lost in the mail. So I got...
You were in a sticker deficit.
I'm in a sticker deficit, and then lo and behold, I got a surprise sticker package when I've been waiting for my other stickers to come, which I think are lost in the mail between California and here. So it was she just knew that I needed some stickers, and I go to my mailbox every day, I tear open the sash, flip open the mailbox to see if my stickers are here every day. I stopped doing that about 2 weeks ago because they were already
it was frustrating.
They were I usually get them by the end of the month, and now it's the 19th, whatever, almost the end of June, and I haven't got my other ones yet. So yeah.
That's awesome.
I saw my mail from her, and that made me happy. So that was my pixie dust for the week. And now I got to figure what to do with all these stickers. Put them in my collection, put them in my sticker book, use them for other things to be determined.
That's so awesome.
Yes, so that was
really nice of her.
It was very nice of her. So I thank you. Now, what about your pixie dust, Missy?
Well, my pixie dust, and it's funny because I got them shipped here. So I have them in my possession. You don't have yours yet. But I ordered us some... we've always talked about how do we commemorate the episode where we talked to Bob Gurr. I think this will just go down in my life as one of the big things of my life,
because
right?
we assumed originally that we could just cherish the video...
But we look like such nerds.
We could cherish the video footage we took. But then we're like, no, we'll only look at that when absolutely necessary.
Yeah, because it was a little embarrassing. But whatever. We spoke to a man who spoke to Walt Disney. It's pretty cool. So Bob Gurr occasionally has different things, different merchandise and memorabilia and things like that he sells. And it's like a license plate. And it looks like the old Disneyland tickets. So the paper tickets. And I'll put a picture of it in the show notes. But it's autographed. So it's signed by Bob Gurr. So we each got one. And they were delivered this week. And I'm so excited. I love it. So I can't wait to put it up in my house. And yeah, it kind of commemorates, our conversation with the Disney legend, Bob Gurr.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
That's
it's
some
cool.
Good pixie dust.
It is. Yeah, and I said to you, you can't use it because you don't have yours yet. But you had stickers anyway, so that
I
was
did.
good.
I had stickers, so I'm.
Those are nice stickers. I said you showed me them. They're pretty cool. They're cool. So that was nice. I'll link to Jen in the show notes as well. So you guys, if you're looking for ears or whatever,
scrunchies,
because
they're cool now. Scrunchies are back.
Scrunchies are the place to be. So yeah, we have that. And this was a great one, Carrie. This was fun. It was. For everyone listening, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It helps people know that maybe they should give us a try. And tell your friends, tell your family, share us online, share us wherever. And keep the feedback coming. We love it.
We do.
Yeah.
So see you later.
Carrie, you're going to have every week. You should have one of these. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.